Well, hi, and welcome to another great CEO podcast. I am Pam Singleton, and I'm here with yet another great CEO, Rob McKinney, CEO of Northern Pacific Airways. Welcome, Rob. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Pam. It's a pleasure to be here.
Very good. So in a few sentences, tell us what Northern Pacific does.
Northern Pacific started as Raven, Alaska, as a regional airline here within the state of Alaska. And we are in the process of launching and turning it into a global airline that will fly internationally, typically mostly between Asia and the United States.
All right. So plenty of competition out there. How do you differentiate Northern Pacific from everybody else?
Well, a couple ways. On the Raven brand side, we go to places pretty much nobody else does go to, and these are communities that are isolated, not even served on the road system. So these are people to go to the doctor or see family have to get on an airplane. So we pretty much have a captive audience there. As far as the global brand, the Northern Pacific Airways, we're finding a special niche that is real similar to what Icelandair has done on the other side of the world. Obviously, you can fly direct across the Atlantic, and many people do, but Icelandair has created this idea of a stopover halfway across where you can change planes, have more options. They offer a lower price point, and we're going to be able to do the exact same thing over the Pacific, where having a quick stop in Anchorage, be able to change planes, stretch your legs, and continue on. We'll be able to do that for about 20% less than the nonstop guys, and be able to offer more choices to secondary markets.
So an outstanding competitive advantage, I'd say. Now, every business has some constraint that if you could change, it would make it a better business. You have the great business, but what's the one thing you would change to make it even better?
Well, the biggest constraint for all of us in this space is there's a national pilot shortage right now, and it was caused by lots of reasons, but it's just only getting worse and worse. And if you look at the regional space, especially, one third of all regional aircraft jets in this country are parked because there's nobody to fly them. So we've been real active with our congressional delegation trying to get new legislation passed to make it easier for inner city and minority kids to be able to become pilots and aircraft mechanics, to try to extend the period of time that pilots can operate in their career, and have more access to guaranteed student loans for a wider variety of institutions to try to get more young people into this industry.
All right. Well, you're working creative solutions to a problem that's a talent problem that's encompassing all the companies in the United States, really. So
yeah, we're trying to, and we're even going so far as we offer a 15-day on, 15-day off schedule, and we provide your housing. So if you want to live someplace else, you can fly, work for half the month in a free place to stay, and then fly back. We also make tuition or guaranteed student loan payments. So if you have school debt, we will continue to pay off your school debt so long as you're an employee of ours. So we're really trying to be as creative as possible to solve the problem.
All right, very good. So let's focus on you for a minute as CEO. How many hours a week do you work, and how do you allocate your time?
It varies, and it's tough. There's a lot of travel involved, as you might suspect, between just making vendor relationships and setting up stations. And just because of the nature of how far flung this industry is, there's obviously meetings all over the world. So travel eats up a big chunk of it. I think on a weekly basis, I average probably between 70 to 80 hours. Although if you ask my wife, she would say it's 160 hours. But again, I'm gone a lot. So that just being on an airplane, going someplace else eats up a lot of time. But it varies between marketing, employee problems. It's really kind of all over the map. I don't know if I could say I have one thing that eats up the most of the time other than the travel to go to in-person meetings.
Okay. I believe your wife on this one. Probably not. So as any business grows, as leaders, we have to shed certain responsibilities to develop our people and free ourselves up to focus on higher level work. So name one major responsibility you've delegated in the last 6 months.
I actually don't. I used to do all the pilot hiring myself and was kind of involved in hiring everybody because I'm just such a big believer in company cultures. Like that's what will make or break you at the end of the day. And I have been so fortunate that I have one of the most phenomenal teams of HR professionals I've ever had the luxury of working with. So I don't even have to think about those things anymore. I've been completely shed recruiting, hiring, and being directly involved in that whole process because of the talent that we've been able to gather here.
All right, very good. What one or two things describe you as a leader?
I'm definitely the opposite of a micromanager. I'm a big believer in the whole Henry Ford concept is you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. You just have to surround yourself with the smartest guys in the room. So I've just been really, really aggressive in making sure that we have the right compensation package and people believe in the vision so that we can get the right talent so that, I know that I can delegate and I don't have to be responsible for everything. So at the time that I have to start watching and micromanaging, then I know I have the wrong person in there. So that's I think the biggest thing about me is I'm as hands off as you can possibly be when you get down into the weeds level.
Well, terrific. So last question, what do you do for fun?
Well, I live here in the awesome state of Alaska, and coincidentally, my house backs up to a national park, and there's a trailhead right next to my house. So I spend a lot of time on the trail, love hiking up the mountain. If I have enough time, you can actually hike to a glacier from my backyard, which is pretty awesome. I also love tennis, and if you do the research on me, I have a ukulele that I'm trying to learn, but I'm not making much progress on that yet. But that's my next challenge that I want to undertake.
All right, terrific. Well, you've got a varied background and a host of good interests. So, Rob, this was awesome. Thank you. Great interview. I thank you for joining us, and I wish you best of luck going forward. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Pam. I so appreciate the invitation.
Very good.